Episode 82, boys, put a line through it. Who would have thought, Taz, they always say, don't meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. I disagree. And I think the definition of stalking is someone with obsessive culture who has an unwarranted behavior. And I think that's bullshit because I think stalking is more about love. Taz, you understand what I'm talking about here?
Look, I do, but I disagree with you.
Oh.
I know you. And the only thing about stalking and you is that you love to stalk. So when you put those two words together, it's not you love the person you stalk, you love to stalk.
Right. Okay. Tone, we've got someone very beautiful down in the right-hand bottom corner there. Tone, who is he?
Man, the wizard.
The wizard?
You know, I've been to Disneyland, but this guy is more than Disneyland. The great man himself, I think you've got to introduce him. It's got to come from you.
Because... No. I'll tell you one before we get to the great man himself, but Tone on the break just said, I'm like, gee, how good's Steve? You know, how good's Fraser? And then Tone's gone, it's like talking to Sterling Moss. And I'm like, well, the kids will have to Google that. Sterling Moss. So anyway, without further ado, we welcome the great man himself, the man who runs Razor's Edge, the man who's owned horses. He's the GOAT of New Zealand. Don't worry about Tom Brady retiring. The man from Terang. And they say don't meet your heroes because you'll always be disappointed. Carlton supporter. Ouch.
Champion.
Razor's Edge Zone. Stephen Harney, welcome to Polty, mate. Lovely to see you.
How are we, boys? How's things?
Yes, all good, mate. Welcome,
all
Razor.
good.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So
today,
Taz, I've been stalking this great man for probably about 2 years to 3 years online, of course. And you run a punters page like us, but you're a little bit better at it than us, Steve.
I don't know if I'm any better, but I'd love to put them out there and challenge myself and try and find a bit of an alternate edge, whether it's, you know, a hard luck story through a trial. But actually, I love delivering it to people and like giving them a bit of insight. If they do like to have a pun and they're not real sure, well, hopefully I can guide them in the right direction. But it's like anything, you have your days and where they're good, and you have your days where they're bad, and you can't offer any explanation, and you just move on and roll on to the next day. But yeah, I absolutely love it.
I can't stop smiling, Tazzy.
I know that. Tomorrow morning you're gonna have a small see, I can't even talk. Sore jaw, but you'll be right. You'll be right.
You're pretty happy with the Carlton. They're pretty happy with the Carlton. Well, I'm a Carlton man.
No, hang on. I did say he looks like a smart bloke.
Oh,
right. So they say don't judge a book by its cover. I didn't, but I picked it. But anyway.
Your gaydar or your Carlton dar was going off, was it? It was your spidey sense, your little senses were going, he's one of us.
That's all.
He's been sad since 1995. Is that what you felt?
Hey, don't be like that.
All right.
Hey, another pre-season, more hope. Real season, gone. Yeah. So I've been following the Razor's Edge, which we'll link in the description. Don't worry about that, Steve. But some days are pretty epic with you, mate. I don't know how you do it in New Zealand, especially. You found your niche, I reckon, because not a lot of people realise that there's racing in New Zealand, let alone let's go punt over there. Yeah, 100%. Like it's pretty competitive market, especially over here in Australia and even Victoria. Like, you know, a horse ducks to Dunkeld to try and win a maiden, and you've got Mar Eustace, you've got Freedman's. They're zipping one down there to try and win a maiden.
Yeah.
And over in New Zealand, it's pretty diverse. You got the North Island, the South Island, and you know,
that's true. Yeah.
And with your pedigrees and your trainers, you can sort of narrow it down a little bit, and you know the value's still there because over here everyone seems to jump on as soon as market goes up. But over there they sort of just wait to see if the last 2 minutes to see what happens. But you can sort of beat the bookie a little bit.
I was going to mention this, Steve, because Tone, the drift in New Zealand in the last 2 minutes, you could be on something at even money and it ends up paying $4.40. I've never seen anything like it.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
That comes down to that last 2 minutes, whether it's stable influence or people just watch the market fluck. But I'm guessing there's a lot of people that just bet for the sake of having a bet. And if a horse drops 30 cents, they're jumping on. But you know, being on the end of a drift and catching the drift, you know, there's no better feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and as I said before, your New Zealand form is incredible. And you were saying you went over there for a trip and that sort of changed everything.
Yeah, myself and the wife, we zipped over there and, you know, visited a few farms and just saw different aspects of how they're raised and grazed. And I was saying, like, the temperate climate, like the summers are mild. Yeah, the winters are moderate rain, but, you know, in winter, they'll have a deluge. They might have 100 mil in 24 hours over there, like up in the high country. But the sun's out the next day and, you know, the grass is rich and green and horses just thrive in that climate. So, you know, it really dragged me across once I went over there and saw all that and just thought, you know, this is real.
Look, the guys love the UK, Tone, don't you? Tassie, you guys, Team TNT, Taz and Tone. Wednesday night, the UK Express. Not real great last night, but we won't mention that. 3 placings, I think. No.
Yeah, 3 placings out of 4 horses. Yep.
Right, and the darts still being thrown.
Yeah,
around the money.
Yeah, we are, and that's the thing. We're still 20 points. We're 20 up, so we're killing it anyway. Don't worry about the dart. This is not about Tone and me.
Steve, we got the dart. we got the dart, right, which is great. The dart, when you got to throw a dart.
Absolutely.
It should be around 20 to 1 or more. Last night I boosted it to 60 just praying. But Taz is like, it's all right. We've only missed 12. We've probably got another 12 or 13 to go before we start losing money. I was like, that's a good way of thinking. That's a good way of thinking, mate. Because
it's a smart way of thinking, especially around that price. Like if you do, you know, you do jag one, it'll absolutely cancel out all the others.
Well, and the reason we do it is, I mean, it's easy enough to tip your 4 best. And that's okay if you get lucky. But there's people out there that just, you know, look at a form guide, for example, and just look for a roughie. So what we want to do is for those people as well, here's our best roughie. Good luck. At the moment, they're going broke. They're homeless, but that's okay.
Noodles.
Noodles, yeah.
That's all they got.
It's like our mate on the NFL bets the same game multi. Sorry about that, Ty. Tony, so I know you guys are the UK, and I suppose New Zealand racing must equal, like, maybe with the lushness, the climate, they must train a little bit the European style. Like, they give them time to develop, if you know what I mean.
And that's the big one. That was the thing that sort of, you know, caught our attention straight away. Like the paddocks are in, like the horses have got room to move. They can exercise on their own. They're not being boxed from that young age. Where bone density and everything, development, that'll make a horse. So the horses get that actual time to do that, learn that, feel that physical before they come in. Like horses that are boxed all the time, they get forced to go and work and then come back box force. Where the development and growing of these horses enables them then to be sold at the yearling sales and then go across to different climates, Australia, Hong Kong, and adapt with ease because they've had that time to mature and develop. So that's why you hear the old saying, you know, tough as old boots, the Kiwi, because it's the way they're brought up. So that was big to us. So
Steve, we've got the perfect person here, Tone, the flow meter of Australian punting. Loves being in a box. We've retired Tone 4 times, and like flow meter, he gets to the paddock and he wants to commit suicide, so we have to bring him back. But anyway,
I mean, every service needs a lay tipster, and we team lay because we can't back it on a Saturday.
Steve, we are called Put a Line Through It, so
that's fair enough.
So
Taz
mate,
keeping us afloat.
Oh yeah, Taz. Taz has come on board, and with his cousin's influence, because he's got a family of 62,000.
Hang on. That's only in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
No,
yeah,
get it right.
So we have to. But anyway, mate, Tassie, Steve, you've been into syndication, and you're looking to go buy a couple soon.
Yeah, we're myself and the wife. We started up Harney Stone Racing.
Harney Stone Racing.
Yeah, just purely to, being involved earlier on, and you're a bit of an outlier when you become an owner through a syndication. You're sort of, you're there but you're not, sort of thing. And we've tried to bring a bit of fun and frivolity back into the game, and have open days. And we did a tour around Kieran and Dave's up at Ballarat and put a day on, morning tea for everyone. Dave came up, took everyone through the day yards, recovery room, the pool, the treadmills, the inclines, what they do. And like, you know, people just couldn't stop, like owners just couldn't stop saying like, holy hell, like that's what goes into a racehorse, even down to the point of like the certain foods they don't eat. Like some are allergic. Some have to have the dust taken off the lucerne. So they put them in warmers. You know, there's a science behind it all. And that's why, you know, having that advantage and try and take people through that. So that's our philosophy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to talk because I'd be just transfixed by Dave Eustace's eyebrows. I mean, they are the most impressive eyebrows in the world. Seriously, mate, they should have their own postcode.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, question with regards to like buying baby horses. Like, not many people know this, but once upon a time, I did I started a horse course out at Emirates Park with breeding. But they looked at the shoes and their rings. So sometimes if they're changing their diet or something, do you ever look at their feet when you're looking at buying? Are there certain things that you look at when you're buying a baby?
Mate, our big thing, like footwork can be corrected if they're shoed correctly. Like if, you know, sometimes going through the sales, you'll see a horse and you'll talk to, you know, prospective buyer and they're like bad feet. And, you know, they can be corrected pretty easy just with a good farrier and the right treatment. Like we're sort of more about, you know, initially we're sort of looking for horses to get over ground and all that sort of thing, but the marketplace is ever evolving. So we do have to adapt, and post the COVID times, like we do have to restructure and evolve because everyone's got to do it. And if you don't do it, you know, you're left hanging and you're the odd one out. So, you know, we're heading off to the English Premier tomorrow.
Really?
Heading out there and meeting Kieran and the boys out there and going through a few of our shortlists to see where we sit. And then the sale starts on Sunday. So, you know, yes, our whole philosophy was target New Zealand horses through trial, through race. But the way the market's been pumped up and the prices they're paying for horses that, you know, you shouldn't be paying for them. Like, but you go to them with an offer and they come back and go double it. And you're like, you can't because you can't ask owners to buy in at an inflated price because it just doesn't sit well with me. So we're going out there and looking for a cheaper sort of horse and bring back the owner experience, go through the breaking in, the naming, visits to see the horse and that whole process again. So we've had to adapt and happy to. Yeah,
we'll have a link in down below in the description. Please like and subscribe. We'll have a link to Harney Stone Racing because a beautiful bunch of people too. I've seen a few. I'm
stalking.
I've seen a few photos, and I'd love to be. I wish I was in Melbourne to be part of it.
Pezza.
Yes.
Sorry, Pezza. I've seen a few photos, and I've got a few on the wall.
I've got a few hard copies around the place.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that I've printed out.
I hope they've been printed on the good paper.
Oh yes. I wouldn't put Rach on the soft, I tell you that.
No, she wouldn't be happy with that.
Just a question. Can I ask, like, you do this with your wife, correct?
Yes.
So does she come from a racing background or did you turn her?
No. Look, well, her background's a little bit different. Like her grandfather was tied up in a Miracle Mile winner way back in the day.
The Red Hots.
The Red Hots. And when we got together, you know, I was mad racing. But it's actually been refreshing, and like I learn pieces now, like to watch her go through the process of, like, you know, she'll look at a horse and go, I don't like the walk, like, you know, or, you know, just little things like that. And you're just like, brilliant. Like that's, you've just come sort of from nowhere and developed this over time. And, you know, you're making your own calls, which is great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, that's the dream, isn't it? Buy low and hopefully that dart hits. And
I know. But
you know, like you hear the stories. You know, you read them every season.
Absolutely, you know? And as before, like with regards to like some bad feet, you know, that's a risk we'd be happy to absolutely take on if there was, you know, through our right guys, if they said, you know, the shoeing process is wrong. We've got a mate that's a top class farrier. And, we'll ask him the question, take some photos and, even bring him along. But if it's things like that are stopping people from buying, like that rings to us.
Yeah. Now, I heard a little whisper. I heard a birdie told me you're actually really keen on one horse in New Zealand after one trial. So obviously you're
one race. One race.
So maybe you were stalking.
Let me have a mouthful first.
Yeah, obviously you might have been stalking a few race replays in New Zealand, and you made an offer for a horse. It was rejected with nothing else, right? They just said stone cold, no.
No, I will tweak that just marginally.
Okay.
I will tweak it marginally.
All right.
Do I even say the horse's
name?
No,
well, we should say this is now the favourite for the Derby in New Zealand. The horse that Razor identified out of one race.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the miss, but the double R, double L.
Oh no! Well, you go ahead then. Yeah.
No. We sort of made a bit of an inquiry about La Creek, the Vadamos filly. Yeah, Destiny Cove. Like she'd group formed up to 2100 with Vadamos 2000 meter. Won a trial over 1200.
Yes.
Green as grass, wobbled down the straight and
love him. Green as grass. Love him.
They're the things you got to look for. That's the difference. If you buy a horse that's true and correct the whole way through, you got to look for that advantage to try and find a few lengths. So, but it's La Creek, and now the raging $2.50 favourite for the Derby against the boys. So that one stings, but
stings a little bit. Yeah, but they just said there was no counter, or there was no.
Nah, it was just we're racing this girl, like
right.
So effectively, it was tough. But if you throw some money, you don't know where anyone's at in their stage of life.
That's right.
It's going to help them out. So you've got to do it. You've got to be on the proactive side.
Le Creek is the favourite for the Derby. She's a girl, filly, and she's I think she had 7 starts with 5 wins, a second and a third. So she
put them away on the weekend by 4.5.
Not a bad eye. Bad luck.
But how would you respond with something like that if they came to you with an offer? I mean, I remember a friend of mine telling me many years ago that good old Colin Hayes used to say, you don't go broke selling for profit. So you've got a good horse and they come to you. What do? What's your sort of thought process?
Well, it's funny you say that. Our first horse, High World, that we're in, we got an offer from overseas for 1.35 after he won the Carbine Club, and then 2 weeks later won the Frank Packer over the autumn, over 2000. And at the time, and kudos to us, I think, to this point, because at the time we're in it for fun, to try and meet people, to experience the highs and lows of racing. Yeah. And then not long after that, he had bone chips on the knee, but he started favourite in the Group 1 Memsey, ran 5th beaten 1.5, and sort of didn't get out till late. Those little things. But we do not begrudge any of it. But following on from that, like you got to try and separate the heart and the head as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a tough one to try and actually manipulate and get over. But if you do get a decent offer, like now we're more wise and we're been around a little bit. But any sort of money, you've got to understand that they're only a run away, an accident away, standing on a nail, springing a shoe, standing on a nail.
Yeah,
you've got to entertain it every time.
Mate, you wouldn't believe this, but we bought a grey horse from the yearling sales up in far north Queensland. His big grey horse Tone. And you wouldn't believe it. It was like 17 hair. It was huge. It wasn't a Clydesdale. It wasn't 1920, but it was a big boy. Anyway, it was in the paddock. Tone got bitten by a snake. And then they charge us like $5,000 to bury it. Like like the backhoe was like $6,000 for. That broke my. Like it never got to the track. Never got to the track. We bought it from the ring. And then it's just in a paddock getting bitten by a snake, and they're like, "Yeah, do you want to come say goodbye?" And we're like,
Oh yeah, rip at the
And then
heartstrings.
here's your invoice. Oh yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Far out.
No,
That's right. It's only one bone chip away, or it's only one bone tendon, or one.
It's a fickle game, and like that's where we try and be honest and dilute everything to the point of what we know, and like try and feed on that. I had someone ring me and say, how much can I make, during its racing period before it has a spell, and it was just like, no, it is that they could wake up with a temperature, miss a run. You've got to have that perception of I'm having some fun, I'm meeting some new owners, I'm mingling, I'm getting the racing experience, whether it's high or low, and you've just got to have that. You got to bear that in mind as well. Like it's a tough one.
Our trainer Tassie, Malcolm Johnson's brother, Ricky Johnson, he used to always say the stone bruise. Oh yeah, why didn't it win, Rick? You told us to get on, you told us to load up, and we've got no money until payday. But he goes, stone bruise, mate, stone bruise.
Next up.
I've
heard them all before, and I've had to
Yeah.
pass it on to owners.
Yeah.
Direct message saying this. So it's like you've got to be honest, transparent. You got to
absolutely, and I think that's a big thing with our group too at Bolty. We are pretty transparent. We don't hide behind our results, and we own them. We own them.
We do.
But we've had some wins, though. We've had some wins.
Good.
Did you say winner? Did you say
no? What about you?
I thought you were talking to me. Sorry.
Have you had some good days at the track, Steve?
Same sort of thing. Sorry.
Yeah. Had some pretty good ones.
Actually, sorry. I remember
both our syndicated horses, Harpera and Cataracta, both won on the same day.
Nice.
And, Harpera won on debut. It was a heavy 9. They didn't think the meeting was going ahead. We weren't going to run her, and then going back to that, the New Zealand factor and all that, we chatted to Kieran, and he's like, "Let's run, let's go." And she won by I think 4.5 on debut, eased up, and then Cataracta won by about 5 in the last race, and I sort of got 6-1, sort of both of them on early markets, and then multied them up, and it was a pretty good trip home, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
I think.
When did you sleep? About 2 weeks later?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
would have been a big couple of days. Because I remember I bagged Cataracta too. I think it was on a Sunday at Sale or somewhere. And she brained him. She just jumped and led, and didn't give him a chance.
It might have been Horsham.
Horsham, right. It was.
And a horse took her on actually, and like
yes, that's right. Yes.
A horse called Mistake took her on, and we're like, she's first up, and Dave sort of said, she's half underdone a little bit. And I spoke to him after the race, and he's like, halfway through, I'm like, oh no. She kicked away, and happy days. So we're lucky.
Those were my early stalking days, mate. The early stalk.
The early days.
Back to the X factor there for a moment, Steve, like you're saying, like Melbourne Cup Dulcify, and then back before your time, and probably Pezza and buddy Taz's time, was Stain Vita, the jumper, 12 lengths in front, fell in a hole, broke its leg, and that bloke had, some bloke had $100,000 on he borrowed from work. He ended up in Pentridge for quite a while.
Acquiring the cash without legal rights.
Just borrowing,
a little bit of a punt on the certainty.
Borrowing 7 figures.
That's crook.
Yeah. And you do bet with your gut sometimes. I know you've got some really good form attributes, and you do watch a lot of film.
Absolutely. And half a couple of times you're sort of throwing it out there a little bit as well, going. The horse hasn't trolled up that good, but you've seen a couple of runs previous campaign, and there's been winning form from that race. Like horses have come out and gone to group races, and you take a bit of a punt that, are they foxing with me? Well, I don't want to miss out. I'd rather be on and get beat than miss out. So I think you've got to do that a little bit now and then.
Yeah.
Have you missed out? Have you ever had one that you just think, oh well, it's just going around, hasn't worked the house down, but it'll probably need the run, and then it just comes out and goes bang? Have you had one of those that sort of shock you?
Shit, just straight off the cuff. I'll keep thinking during the process, but just off the cuff, I haven't. But no doubt, I've been absolutely gutted. But one will come to me, and I'll be able to give it to you.
Yeah.
I think last year, Steve, we lost grandma. I shouldn't really talk about that, but you lost your grandma. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And I remember you sending me a message that day. I don't know if you remember sending it, but you had a crack at a horse because it reminded you of your nan. And you've actually gone double or tripled up, and it was a New Zealand horse, and it was reminded of your nan's aunt.
Yeah, twig me, and I'll know straight up.
I don't know. It was like something about a nurse or something, and then aunts. Your nan's auntie was a nurse, and all this sort of thing was.
I do remember
the omen bet, and then you've sent me the ticket through, and you've gone, good on you, Dad. You know, you're looking after me.
I do remember that. I'm going to have to go back through, but I do remember that. Yeah, we can.
But it was all like, it was basically you identified the horse in New Zealand. It was 15-1. And it was something about nurse and who your nan's best mate, your auntie was a nurse, and you're like, how good's this Pez? I'm like, oh, stud.
They're those darts you've just got to throw.
Yeah, go with the gut, and
take it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I loved it. I was like, oh, that's brilliant, beautiful.
Yeah, I do remember that now. I will find that.
Yeah. But I was like, geez, how good's that? Nice.
New Zealand horses. I mean, I'm probably the second eldest here, even though I'm the best looking.
Absolutely.
But sorry, I just had to say that. But
well, if it was a family vote, you're a lay down Mazet.
But what's the best horse you've seen come out of New Zealand, in your opinion? For you,
I remember the early days. I do remember the early days of Viander Cross.
Wow.
And you know, it might be a little bit skew-if and a little bit off, you know, of those pure out and right champions. But he was a superstar. Obviously, everyone knows the Shane Dye ride.
Shane Dye, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. But in all honesty, out of New Zealand, straight off the bat, would have to be Sunline.
Yeah, right.
Love Sunline. I can't believe you said Viander Cross, though, because I used to have a horse many, many years ago. And its name, I'll give you its racing name. It was U-Potty Pon Pon. All right. Anyway, it was trained by Rex Pittman and Philip Roos before the accident. Used to do track work and ride it. Its stable name was Vandy because we had a horse that was a track work champion. He thought this horse goes as good as Viander Cross. Seriously?
Yeah.
I kid you not. It did not lose trials. It did everything you wanted a horse to do in a trial.
Yeah,
it would get to the races. And I think we ended up having 15 starts with it. It won one. It ran, I think, 2 or 3 placings and about 9 fourths.
Wow.
Vandy, I can't believe you've made me sick by bringing that up, that memory.
It was a bit like Tone, was it? It was like, you know, doing your best work after midnight, was it? The big boy just, Seven Sisters style in the Blue Diamond, the Tassie man. So Steve, I keep saying Razor because I usually when I'm commenting on your wins, I'm usually saying Razor instead of Steve. But mate, absolute joy, mate. And if you'd stick around, it'd be awesome because
absolutely
we've talked to you for close to the old 40-odd minutes that someone poor from Fukuoka, Japan, can only afford. I can't put you on the uni clock because I use my university account. They might actually check what we're filming and it might go to the cloud and they'll be like, what's this peasant doing? But anyway, it'd be great if you could come back and give us your thoughts on a big Blue Diamond weekend.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Absolutely. That'd be magical. And geez, I tell you what, we talk about Mardo, how much of a flog he is. How good is this bloke? Seriously, Tom? Yes.
I don't know if I can say it.
You can. No problem.
But I can tell how excited you are, even from Australia. All right?
Yeah.
I can. You've got the tux on. Seriously, I can even smell you. You seriously, you've gone.
I've gone the bull buddy. I've got the bull got here.
You've got the
shave.
old splice on today.
Yeah.
The Brute 33, you've thrown it up. You've gone top shelf, mate.
I've even rubbed up against Tone. I've just like got a bit of manly smell about me today. But no, seriously, they say don't meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed. But I'm not. I'm only disappointed in the fact that you like the Navy Blues because they're a bunch of flogs like Taz. But Marto, who's Marto? Let's put a line through this prick. And Jesus Christ, Steve. No, thanks so much for coming, mate. I know I bugged you a little bit, and it's a joy, mate. And we'll get back and we'll talk about this weekend's racing. And so thanks so much, mate. I'm having a
let's punch out some winners.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Tony stop.
I was going to say Carlton's not all bad.
Oh,
you've got to remember the flying doormat, and I was a big
Brucey door
hand as well. So there you go,
mate. My old hero, Craig Bradley.
Oh, Braddles,
23,
Braddles, mate.
Braddles.
He went till he was 64. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
My favourite Carlton player was probably Kenny Hunter. He just had heart as big as Farlap. He was mental. He was a stick, and he was growing.
I'll tell you who I met. I was over when we moved over to Perth for a few years over there, and a guy come to the footy club, Peter Bazzusto.
Wow,
the buzz.
He's not well.
No,
He's not well at the moment.
Bit of a GoFundMe and that for him, but he was electric. He was brilliant.
You're right. Yeah. Huge impact.
Steve, I was scared for a moment. I thought you were going to say John Dorotich.
Oh, Dora. Well, I had a Dora this morning, Taz, in anticipation. But all right, let's end it there, and we'll come back. Thanks very much, guys. Hang on. This is it. We're back. We're welcoming the great man himself, Tone. No, not Tone. He's a flog. Taz. No, not Taz. He's a bigger flog. But the Blues got up today for the Saints. Is that right?
Yes, they did.
Oh, well done, mate. Take the what do you say, Tone? Take the joy in a practice match win. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Something like that.
I think Taz has already gone out and got the tattoo.
Oh,
yeah, I have.
Yeah, practice match win, February 24th.
Listen, let's not talk football because you still follow the homeless Kangaroos. They're still homeless. They're still the Kangaroos, and they're still sponsored by the Salvos.
Yeah.
So let's just stop football.
Well, a lot of people got angry because I always thought, I wish we sort of went to the Gold Coast because then we would be around for my kids to be able to support them. But anyway, we're not mentioning football because we've got the great man himself. Here he is, the Razor's Edge Zone. Stephen Harney, welcome back to the show, Steve-O.
Thanks, mate.
Yay. Here we go.
Now, talking about Marto as being a flog, and he tries to straighten us up. Geez, we're on our best behaviour today, aren't we, boys? But we're getting into the races now, so it might turn a bit, I don't know, not pear-shaped because that's my body. I don't know. We don't know. But we're talking before about omen bets or betting with your gut and going a bit harder than maybe we shouldn't. But I was talking about Steve's Nan, and the horse we were talking about was called Flying Habit. And Nan's best mate was Irani, who was a nun.
Yeah. And the day we buried her, and I actually tipped it on the Razor's Edge, but
you did.
But just with all that entrenched, with all what was going on around me, it sort of went, let's double down and caution to the wind, throw that dart we've been looking for. And we got the Razor drift. And we got the drift. We got the Razor drift from about 750 out to about 1560. And you know what, with those drifts, like the way New Zealand shapes up, like I think it's got a lot of clinger honourers, as I said before, with they see a market shape and they pile in. Yeah. But they're only betting for the sake of having a bet, where you sort of like, I've got a bit of knowledge, or I think I've worked something out here. Yeah. And then it goes out again and you start to double down, which, hey, we'll take it. So I reckon you're right. I reckon New Zealand is the opposite of everywhere in the world, because usually we follow the money. But in New Zealand, you sort of follow the drift. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's bizarre. Everyone's a sheep and they're reactive. And and that's why you sort of don't get too concerned. You see it go from, say, $4 to $7 and you're like, great. Whatever.
Like it.
It must be all Tone, like Tone's generation when they go to the tab. When they put their tickets in right at the last minute. Yeah. And the poor tab chicks like want to commit suicide because all these Tonys are going and you know, I don't know. Tone, thoughts?
Mate, I'm a technological wizard. I use something called the internet now. I don't worry about going down the tab.
Big boy. Holy shit. You know, in Tasmania,
There's no tabs here.
be on the exercise bike trying to get the electricity going. But anyway, well done, Tony. Anyway, let's get into it now. Steve, we sort of try to pump each other's tyres and we try to say how good we are. And but at the moment, there's only one guy that's sort of flying the flag for the purple rainbow for the Polti Familia. We're sort of like the Lamar Jackson, the Jackson. What do they call we're like the Trevor Lawrence at the moment, where the Jackson Jaguar was going to come up the ladder. Tassie, explosive quality winds down Racecourse Road to show us profit away from the bitumen. Did I tell you that Racecourse Road wouldn't win anywhere except the Gold Coast?
You absolutely did. And the beauty of it is it was a team result, that, because as I tipped explosive quality, I said, I looked at the toppy and I was weighing up and blah, blah, blah. And then you said, well, don't worry about it. You've gone the right one because it only wins on the Gold Coast. And what's the name of the road there? And Lord and behold, we win by probably the size of, I don't know, someone small, Willie.
Yeah, I'll put my hand up.
And it was, I mean, right on the post. So, I mean, you actually messaged me at the time and you weren't sure.
Yeah.
Whereas I was pretty confident, I guess, maybe because I've got the glasses, or maybe I had the phone on the tilt at the time. I don't know what, but it got there and that's all that matters.
So it was the last race of the day. We waited a long time, Steve.
We did.
And
beautiful.
The sunny coast, I reckon the camera is just behind the line.
Yeah, they do run.
It looked like Racecourse Road had sort of got it. And then Tassie had seen the still shot and gone, don't worry, Pez, we're in. And I tell you what, it was talking about a Kiwi type connection from Terang. It was a bone crusher type finish at the Cox Plate, was it, Taz? What was that?
Our Waverley Star.
Waverley Star and bone crusher. It was real tight. It was tight. But well done, Tassie. Now, for all the Polti Familia, we do keep our results. We're very transparent. And Tassie's going at about a 21% strike rate. So well done for wins, Tassie. Well done,
well
mate.
done, Taz.
Thanks,
Keeping
mate.
us afloat, mate.
Keeping us afloat, big boy. Well done. Shell shocked and honest third time. Very surprising result. $3.30 a place. Can't sniff.
I'm running at 100% lay on the lays. I haven't backed the winner since I can't remember when.
Right.
But yeah, I was surprised it paid that much for the place.
Yeah, but a good honest run. Like, it was beaten a fair way, but it hung on for us. And then Pez cost us a 35-to-1 place multi after Ulysses is like the blue butterfly in Cairns, very hard to find. So I put a line through Ulysses. I'm not going to get on again, and it's cost me too much.
Pez, you've been unlucky though, because you know how Tone just said it. You know how Tone just said he can't remember the last time he backed the winner.
Yeah, I can.
I can too. But when was yours? Was yours
August on a Saturday, August 4th? I've tipped on this page. Now, Steve, you probably go back days until your last winner, or even hours.
Maybe even minutes.
My last winner on Polti was put a line through it was second slip. I love myself a bit of Will Clark in the morning when he comes to Melbourne.
Ex-Kiwi.
And it's been August 4th. There you go, Taz. I've said it out loud.
I know you have, but again, to be fair to you, right?
Yeah.
You've run a lot of placings. Your horses have been there. It's not that you haven't been tipping the right ones. You've just been a good punter out of luck.
That's right. Now, Steve, I am leading the placings percentage, but it doesn't help when you're not winning.
It doesn't help, but it all depends on their market value, I suppose. Like, are you an each wayer at 250 and above, or
I'm an on the nose guy at 15s?
Yeah. You're like me old man.
I'm like Frank, Sir Frank Harney.
You bet to win.
Yeah, Stephen's dad, Frank, he's on the Razor's Edge page, which will be in the description. Don't worry, everyone. Frank usually gives his son a fair crack too if he's not going that well. And,
he's not shy.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, he loves a quinella, doesn't he?
Oh, he's an absolutely very astute punter. He like back in the day, I suppose he used to go and clock all Weary's horses at terrain camper down Mort Lake, and you knew which one was wearing different colours, and so
the magic in the dunes.
Oh, mate.
Oh,
love the Quinellas. Love the Quinellas.
Yeah,
I get along.
That's
the Greek freak.
style.
We think he's Chinese because he loves the Quinella. He's like from Hong Kong. He's all over the Quinellas. Even back in the day when I first met Taz back in Cairns, this guy would come up and goes, "Yeah, I had 3 and a 2 and a 5 and the Quinella. I got back." I'm like, "Mate, you are a genius. How have you done that? I've had my $5 each way at $7.50." And then he said, "Look at this piece. It's cost me $1.50. You win 300." And I'm like, "You're a genius."
Yeah. You're like, how did you manufacture that?
Yeah. So no, back in the day, Tassie was a bigger flog than most. But no, we hit the quaddie.
We did.
Crickets.
Yes, we did. Absolutely. Well, we normally get the quaddie because that's what we do.
Oh.
Lay bets, winners from Taz and the quaddie. There you go.
Steve, do you get much into the exotics?
I used to be, and I used to multi a lot of things and massage them and do all that, and it's the old obvious. You miss one leg, and a good mate of mine who's a bit of a pro punter as well. He just said, "Come on, mate." He goes, "You've tipped 3 winners, and your 4th one's been beat, and you've walked away with nothing."
Yes.
Like, he goes, good luck to whoever bunches the 4 together.
Yeah.
Just back them all individually. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I do like to have a little 10 or a 20 just to the encaser, you know.
Yeah. I love the beautiful Rachel loves to put the placer on. She's usually the only one left standing.
But she is. And, she'll just say, "Oh, can you open me an account?" And you're like, "Really?"
Yeah.
You open it up and you're like, "How?" And you're like,
shit,
smart, bet smart,
bet smart.
So, good on her.
Good on her. And the dream is for me, because I'm a stork, we all talk about obsessive love, but we've been so close to a big day. But we've had some big days, Steve. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's an absolute belters.
Talking about consistency, like, holy shit, it's pretty rare you don't throw out a winner. But all I'm saying is that dream.
Yeah. I hold on tight.
You throw out the 5, they win. We celebrate. And
I can thank you for bringing me back into the game where I have to have a little 20 or a little 10 just. You'd hate to go to bed at night going, shit, I multied all 5 together. We'd be, $250,000 richer,
Yeah, that's right. And boys, Steve, I know Taz is new to the page on the Razor's Edge, and don't worry about the Polty Familiar. We like to have a punt. Tone, a little bit of Benny 2 bets is Mr. Harney. He doesn't mind dutching up, but
absolutely.
He's probably 30% Quinella. Honestly,
they're good Quinellas too. They're not small.
Yeah,
actually,
really good Quinellas.
That
I know Frank. I know Dad loves a Quinella. Like,
mate,
him up,
but if he doesn't win, he lets you know about
it.
But the other day, I did get a little bit cheeky there, and I took Denny Sparkle to beat the thing of Henry Dwyer's, and sort of I was driving with the phone, not anywhere near me, and I was sort of going, shit, I tried a little something different here, and I've actually grabbed this. So
I was on.
You were on, yeah. It was going to win only in the last 100.
You know what the funny thing was? I got mail for the market move that day, which no one really cares about, but I got mail, and I sort of sent back and gone, Razor likes these other 2. Steve likes these other. I might go with them. We Quinella the Razor, he got red on for 5th.
Yeah. The old Flemington of the bush.
The Flemington of the bush terrain.
Always delivers.
Love it.
Beautiful.
No, it was great.
Nice.
No, stoked I was. I love a sneaky little multi. And
Absolutely.
but Pezza, you know, well done. You know, we hit the quaddy, we're in shock, but we did all right. We got a little bit of a profit. It paid about 12. How much did it pay, Taz?
I think it was 1,100 and something, just under 1,200 basically.
Yeah, we got for your 10%.
It was $1,115.60.
Wow, thank you, fucking Mr. Calculator. Well done.
I can look at that up here for thinking.
No senior moments there, Taz.
Yeah. Hey, you always remember when you get them.
Yeah,
there you go.
Boys, we're going to go into the Blue Diamond, and Marno's going to be pretty salty about this because we've kept him off the page. I'm pretty keen on Lofty Strike, but then I've just been told it's got lame issues, which I haven't seen today. But I just love this bloke. What's his name? Julius Sandu or a guy from, where is he? He must be from India or somewhere.
He's India.
No, well, but he's travelled the world and worked everywhere, anywhere, just to experience and make ends meet. And
he hasn't got a big team,
but his strike rate is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You're right. And I love those trainers with those massive strike rates. You know, with it's sort of like Australia in the Olympics, isn't it? We always win the per capita. You know, we always win the gold medal tally per capita because we've got no people, but we win a shitload of gold medals.
And wear it proud.
Yes, that's right. And I always, you know, my American mates over in Japan are always, USA, and I'm like, yeah, per capita, take a look. Scumbags. I think New Zealand got us in the per capita last Olympics. But anyway,
You're lucky.
I'm on Lofty Strike because I think
you know I'm going to surprise baby you if you keep going.
Oh, yeah, okay. Tone, you're on the 5.
Yes, I'm going to go for Count the Headlights. Benny Allen, I think he's stuck with this.
Yep. They
gave him another ride on it. Wasn't a bad run last start. I mean, this is, you know, what do? It's a really tough race. $18. It might run a drum, might run a place, might even win. But geez, I'm not, you know, tough race, isn't it?
Taz, did you read about Benny Allen? How he's on the coffee and the fruit and the corn and the veggies, the brown rice to make the weight?
Look, and that's a good thing, but it still doesn't guarantee anything because all it guarantees is that he's on the horse. The question is the horse going to be good enough? Right.
Taz, you found your little, what do you love? You love your little, Joy McNeil and your little Hawks. And...
Yeah, I do. And that's okay. You don't have to get upset, all right? But yes, I have. I've gone for John McNeil on Sebenak. Now, it's only had the one start. It did win well, in my opinion.
Yes.
I also think that, look, this potentially could just position up just behind the leading pack. And all I expect is bang, explodes away. And that's it. I mean, when was the last time Hawks really had a dominant carnival? He hasn't for years, has he?
He hasn't.
Am I wrong?
You're right. I love Michael Hawks because he just says crap, you know. I always remember Dave, he said, like, his horse ran second to Geelong, and I remember him saying, if that first horse wasn't in the race, we would have won. And that's my logic. That's 100% same level logic. When I come second, if that horse wasn't in the race that won it, shit.
We win.
Take
it out. Take it out.
Yeah. Now, Stephen or Razor or Steve, you're on the favourite, but there is a bit of a story to Jack and O.
We're riding the coattails of the early odds at 21s. So, and I think I did send you a text message during the week just saying if we draw 10 or above.
You did.
And you come up with gate 10. Obviously, a horse like that, he won on debut.
Yeah.
Was in behind him. He had to peel off their backs, but he still he still stretched out and lengthened and hit the line strong. He didn't break the clock. He didn't break sectionals. He didn't have people jumping up. And last start, he missed a kick, went up on the inside, held up, hard luck again. But he only needs to jump clean. I'm not talking jump, hit the front, jump. Jockey can then say, I've got you under control. But he's going to be in the right part of the track. I reckon about that 6 to 7 off at Caulfield on the weekend is going to be the A ground. I reckon that 6 to 7 off, 5 to 7 probably. that's your A ground. And if he can be within 3 lengths on the bend,
yeah,
and I absolutely agree with Sebenak before there. Sebenak is the untested type.
Yep.
He won as he liked on debut.
Yeah.
Over I think it was 1,000 or 11.
Yep.
Now he goes to the 12. But a horse having its first start, ears pricked up, hit the line.
Yeah.
That tells me there's an absolute truckload under the tank.
Yep.
So when he's asked for an effort, he's gonna have 3 lengths on Jacquinot. So
that's right. So I think Lofty and Jacquinot are going to come together if Lofty's okay with the lameness issues and whatever. I think Lofty's going to come like he's going to sort of just stalk, and because Lofty's he's got to finish, he's going to run, he's going to find the line, and but as you said, Jacquinot's probably the class, or Sebenak, untouched, unpricked, and hopefully Count the Headlights is there too. We got the first 4 bang.
I can absolutely concur with those 4 there, because Count the Headlights I think will be better over 1,200, and Barrier 7 it's going to probably sit. Do we all think? Do we all think the boys are better than the girls in that field?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the clock says it as well, but in Victorian tone, you just throw out the clock, don't you? Because sometimes they sit back them, which we all hate, and we've already talked about that. Too much. Yeah. But Tassie, there's a bit of an omen bet there for towing down the bottom.
There is
7,
and I think the whole Tasmania is getting on.
Right.
Everyone loves Seven Sisters.
Yeah, watch that come in from 31s to 6 to 4 on. Yeah,
right. Is that right, Tone? Back in the day, old Launceston there at the club.
Before we move on from this race, I'm just curious to ask. I've got 2 horses that I'm just curious to get a little bit of feedback on. Hafey is the one.
Tony.
And there was another one as and what was the other one? No, just Hafey. Hafey's the one because it won in a 5-horse field, but it won really, really easy.
Easy.
Is there anything to take from that? Anyone? Anything?
No, it's a hard one because, and this is where I absolutely love a horse that just brings like a weekend hustler form to the race where you win on a country track, come to the city.
Yep.
And you've got to understand it was only 5 in the race. The time wasn't flash, but he put the cue away at the 200. Like, you know, asks for an effort. Does he run time and does his price half? Maybe. I will try and find out some info on it, but and let you know. But they're the horses you absolutely love because you don't know. They haven't been up. And when the button gets pushed, is there a massive effort under the hood that says, see you later?
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be those 4 up there. I'm very happy to play around them. And I absolutely agree. Hafey and Rampant Lion.
Yep.
I think Rampant Lion.
Yeah.
I think Rampant Lion will take a sit. And that Frankel pedigree, is he still winding and grinding at the line?
Yeah. And I think we were talking about it a little bit before, the Gelagotis horse and the filly, Miss Rosiano, she's just going to go. She's going to test him and they're going to get past her. And who knows, she might you just don't know when a blue diamond, because a lot of these horses, it sounds really weird, but a lot of these horses won't get the 1,200 and a lot of them are going to look for a lot further. So you just don't know what babies, do you?
I'll throw another one at you. Most of them will look the winner at the 400.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And within 100 metres, you fold out your 5 that are going to fight the race out. But I reckon that 5 to 7 lane is going to be your winner, and they're the horses we've all sort of, barrier 8, 13. They're the ones that are going to be coming down that section.
Love it. Anyway, here we go, Tassie. We're going to get to a race 4, number 12. Next dimension. Staying in
next dimension. It is. I'm sticking up. I'm staying up there in the sort of the Queensland state, even though they've had a bit of rain up there. Look, it's drawn well. I like Maloney on it. Maloney has ridden it before. He sticks with it. It's had 2 runs in, admittedly over a shorter distance. To be brutally honest, this is the first time this horse is going to 1,600. But I think as it's gotten on a little bit, it's probably looking for the 1,600. I think the price is right. I think it tracks well. The only concern that I have is that a few are going to want to be up on the speed. And what I don't want is for it to potentially get cornered in on the inside if they're all pushing forward and it doesn't find the run. But I reckon with 1,600 it finds the run and it wins.
Mate, we can't knock you because you've been on fire. So
Exactly.
I don't know,
exactly.
Tone, Steve, do you know much about the horse?
No, I'm just having an honest look now, and her encounter out of G Baby, NZ. Yeah, and Casey Fogden, an XZ trainer. Over the mile, you think, it's going to posse up. Obviously, it's got absolutely good gate speed, so it's going to posse up probably, 1-1. And up there around that circuit, 1-1's not a bad spot to be around Dooman.
That's right. And Maloney on board, wow.
He knows the track, knows
it's
everything.
It's a good nod, because...
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
I don't know
like
the
it.
horse.
Now we've got the...
Jockey's fine.
Tone, we've got the Peaky Blinders here. We've got the Peaky Blinders. We'll fix this slide up, but Ray's is a special guest. And if he ever comes back, we'll do it again. Under the new management of the Peaky fucking Blinders. Here we go. Razor, you got one over in Otaki in New Zealand. Thank God for that.
Yeah, Lanacord. Obviously, she's Group 2 winner as a 3-year-old, Group 1 place as a 3-year-old in the Oaks behind Armelina. She came over and contested the SA Oaks, the Australasian Oaks, with limited luck, to be fair. 4-year-old season. Yeah, she needs another win, but she's dropping back from the Herbie Sykes Group 1, 1,600, but goes to a 3- and 4-year-old set weight and penalties race over 2,100. Like, she got a rating of 81. The horse underneath has got a rating of about 65. Like, wow. In layman's terms, that could be, your 9 to 10 kilos it should be given. Barrier 5, Dylan Turner sticks. I'd love to know how she's going, but she's going to posse up probably 3 back, 1 out, and he's going to hold her all the way to the bend. And, all going equal, she wins. 240, she wins. But, I think she wins. Wins easy. Yeah.
We're going to Saturday quaddy. We've got the quaddy at Caulfield this week, of course, the Blue Diamond Day we've all been talking about. The first leg, Tassie, 1, 3, and 4.
I have. I'm thunderstruck. Well, Pricey declared that it couldn't win last time.
Couldn't win last start. He said it was too fat.
That's right. And he hasn't said anything this time, which means get on.
Yes.
Look, Caulfield, the track will probably suit it. I know we all know it's going to get out the back, but I'm expecting that it shouldn't be affected by that. Moanga, look, it hasn't trialled well. And I reckon it's probably based on those trials, if you think of them, I don't expect it to trial well, because this is a horse that's going to be looking for more ground as its preparation goes on. So I wouldn't be expecting them to be revving it up through its trials, but I do expect it to be ready come race day. And Tefane, seriously, just have a look at its form, look at its record, track conditions, all that sort of stuff. That's enough for me.
Okay. I think you might have missed one.
Can I jump in?
You might have missed one here. Yeah.
Yep. We had a crack at on Thunderstruck off a trial, and Tefane off a trial, and underbidder on both as well. So.
Yeah. Oh wow!
Oh no!
We went to 200 for on Thunderstruck and 330 for Tefane. But
So hang on, Steve. I'm really sorry, mate, but I don't know if you can see, but I've just grabbed the tissues.
Thanks, mate.
I'm actually shedding a tear for you. All right, I'm actually sad now.
Yeah, me too.
I can't believe it.
Oh,
that's the
that's
with
the
racing
joy.
and that money talks,
mate.
and we've got to think about our
Yeah, of course.
clientele.
That's
You don't care about Sierra Sue? I thought Sierra Sue, I think she's going to peak. She loves Caulfield. She was only beaten the first time there last start over the 1,400. I thought it was a pretty honest run. I think she ran out of fitness a bit late. Yeah, no?
Yeah, no, going to be bottled up on the fence.
Okay.
Yeah, right. 1, 3, 4, 5, absolutely every day of the week.
Perfect. Now, Tony, you've got the hard learn, I suppose, the 2, 4, 5, 6, 11, and 12. We've already talked about the blue diamond, Tone, but anything else, mate?
No, mate. Like,
I
can't do any more than that. You know,
no,
can but try.
I understand. Marto, Steve, he's gone 3, 5, 7, and 9. Any thoughts?
I ran my eye over this race today at lunchtime, and it's just interesting. Like Marabi, untapped.
Yes.
Went from a handicap and then went to a weight for age, and now dropping back to a handicap. So she dropped 2.5 being a mare. But it's just one little interesting fact that I actually took out of a couple of starts ago. Away game carried 58.5 and ran Marabi to 0.8 of a length. And Marabi had 54. Away game drops to 52 at 6.5 kilo weight swing on Marabi, who remains at 54 for 0.8 of a length, but has Marabi gone on and made up lengths? But 6.5 kilos, like that equates to 14 lengths.
Yeah.
But
wow.
But if Jonker takes on Marabi, Minaj is up there. There's a away game from barrier 5, Linda Meets, Stalkham from barrier, sit about 5th or 6th. And
And I'm a bit worried about Jamie on Bella Nipotina. I don't think she can take a sit either from 10.
Yeah, 100%. But
I think she's going to press forward as well. And
and
then Poland, Tony, Poland's had the cruelest cut of all.
The old Poland, eh?
Yeah, well, he's been gelded, the big man, because he couldn't keep his mind on the job. And I actually tipped Poland first up from a trial about 10-1 back in the day, but he tried amazing the other day. Won. I don't know. I reckon at a sneaky 50 sort of skins, mate, you never know.
What about your Bjorn Baker, Pezza?
Oh, Bjorny.
You love him?
I do love him, but I just think that Malkovich is one of those horses that breaks your heart every run. It gets to the last 10 metres and you got your heart basically test, like everything's in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, because it's tiptoeing.
And
promises the world and delivers an atlas.
Yeah.
Steve, do you reckon the track will be rooted? Will the track be rooted? Or suit Oxley?
Peter Moody.
Ah, yeah, good point. Yeah. No, you see these like with the weights and penalties, like even a horse like Zatori, I know he's got 58.
Yes, that's what Tasman talked about before.
Zatori, he runs in the best races possible.
Yeah.
And he's never far away, but it is a horses down on the limit, but away game at 52 kegs, does it sit off him, and does Marabi just get pressure? And
okay,
6.5 kilos, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
The last leg, Pez has gone the 5, Desert Icon. If it replicates its last run, it should beat all these, because there's a few ghosts in this race, Tone. You got a million of them.
Certainly is.
Dirty Deeds, English King. Like how many horses? Defibrillator. Pancho. Craig. So I reckon if Desert Icon replicates its last run, it just kills them. But if not, I'm going to go Damien Lane, because he usually knocks us out of the quaddie. And then, of course, it's a small quaddie, so it's only $14.40 for your 10. Throw in Criminal Crowd if you've got any money, because Brady Preble. And again, for Waller, he just flips the coin and decides which one he wants to win, and let's go.
I know Tone counted out Pancho there before, but I think it's going better than its form.
Yeah, I agree. Last run was huge.
It trolled up super, and it hasn't. Yeah, just something stinks about it.
I agree.
There's just something about Pancho.
So
here we go. God, wow, what an episode. This is like Gone with the Wind, Tone. This is like your era. We need an intermission, big boy.
They thought Ben-Hur was good. This is much better.
Oh, wow. I still can't get the smile off my face. And if he just said he bagged for like North Melbourne or something, golly, he'd be the perfect man. We welcome back Stephen Harney. And, of course, we've got the Taslad, the Greek maestro himself, the Greek freak. And, of course, the titanium tip himself. Now, the analytics used to point to everybody just went straight from the YouTube channel straight to Tone's titanium tip. That's how good it was. When he tipped Miami Bound last year, Stephen Harney had 27-30 skins around Cox Plate Day 2 years ago.
Oh, and then Johnny Get Angry.
Johnny Get Angry. That was our tip.
Right.
That was our tip
Johnny
too. Johnny
Get
Get Angry. Dennis Pagan, bang. North champion, Carlton coach.
There's a lot of linkies there.
Steve, the glory days were joining. Remember Positive Peace into Miami Bound, Tone.
Oh, gee, that was massive collect that day.
Oh,
yes.
600 skins.
Bjorn Bacon.
Yeah, I love Bjorn Baker. I love the Kiwi Swede. I love him.
Yeah.
He's seriously, I love Stokes and I love Lindsay Smith because they bring that sort of, I don't know, that weird sort of factor, but they bring something like a mystery.
Mate, Lindsay Smith is an absolute beauty.
Yes, that's right.
No, he's an uncut diamond. He's just tell it as it lays. Yep. He's just a meat and potatoes guy. So
because he would say, like, seriously, like, hey, hey guys, hey, you know,
back it, don't back it.
Yeah, we're all right this week. We get 16
100%.
skins. First up, bang, you know, like. So I love those trainers myself. I love them, and but Bjorny Baker, he's sort of like a punter. You know?
Mate, how good's the videos when he just
the social media. I'm trying to start the hashtag Kiwi Swede in the last, but there's already a Bjorn Baker in the last going hashtagging, which is going better than mine. So I'm losing. But,
send it to me and we'll get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So very cool. Now, Tone, you ready? Here we go, big man. I don't know. I hope you're getting out of South Australia because that's Taz's territory.
It's the Chocky wheel has been conflicted. It's like heartbroken. It's been run out of town.
Right. Well, we won't mention Voldemort, which is Mardo. Basically, it's a little bit of an evil empire here. But Mardo tipped a couple of winners last week in Adelaide. He's a bit peacocking a bit, isn't he, Taz?
Yeah. No, look, he did well though. To be honest, they were the last two. Blah blah blah. I mean, look, I reckon Mardo probably got on the phone, made the phone call, tried to work out the birthday, got the information, and tipped the winner. But fair. He got them. He got them both. He got another one as well.
Okay, now Tone, here we go. Okay, you wouldn't be in South Australia. Oops, sorry. You wouldn't be in South Australia, would you, Tone? Seriously? No.
Tone, are you in South Australia?
No.
Don't tell me, please. No.
Morphettville, race 7, number 3.
There we go. The Chocky Wheel State, eh? I'm looking after you, Taz. I'm supporting you. See?
Oh, shit.
There we go. You know, it's a siege on Taz in South Australia.
Oh.
But, you know, it isn't just an omen bet. I think Angus Chung, he's stuck on. He's claiming 3. Patrick Payne's a good trainer. Coming out of 1, carrying a bit of weight, takes 3 off.
Oh.
They backed it off the map last start. They put an absolute ton of money on it. And when it ran second. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's in the market.
Taz, I know you're the Morphettville king, and Stephen loves an Adelaide bet too.
You two guys are the kings of no doubt of South Australia.
Steve loves the South Australian bet. Don't worry about
that. Absolutely.
Steve, what do you reckon?
With Jappery?
Yeah.
Three kegs off the back. Paddy Payne taking it back, mate. He's another one. You just don't look at trials. Don't look at
trials, mate.
Just go off what you know about the horse.
Seriously.
Barrier 1, it's going to box suit. It's going to get the last crack at him. They generally work off the fence there too at Morphettville. So
yeah,
I don't reckon Paddy Payne's ever won a trial.
No. Has a horse ever finished a trial?
No. Like if it comes 5th, get on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree.
I'm just curious if he's going to leave it there though, because he took a couple of others over there, and then all of a sudden he left them behind. So I wonder if it's going to. Yeah, but he's going to be relieved.
But you don't mind that at all because the horses that he has left there have continued to win races as well. So
yeah, they have.
When he sort of gets a lot of these horses, you know, if they're not to a certain standard, you know, South Australia may be that level down. So yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Good on you, Tone. You've caused a bit. You've got him going, the Adelaide boys. So I like it. You know, Steve, he's a madman. Because we're from Geelong, or you know, you're from Terang, so the Western Districts. You love a Warrnambool bet or a Geelong bet. You love a Rockhampton bet.
Oh,
and then of course you go across the moat there to New Zealand and just smash it.
Love going across the ditch.
It's brilliant.
Well, you just sort of, you know, as I was saying, you go to Dunkeld to win a race, and you're up against Lee Freedman, you're up against all the boys.
Yeah.
Why not go across the ditch and try and limit the profile and zone in on a few that are well bred, well trained.
I love myself a bit of what's her name, Steve? A little bit of Lisa Allpress in the morning, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely, mate.
Grillsy, I love Grillsy.
Craigie.
Oh, mate, we know them all, don't we? And
don't we? You get to know the good with the bad.
That's right. That's right. And okay, here we go, Pez. Is fair dinkum. If you're a tipster, you wouldn't tip your hat in Sydney this weekend because it's supposed to be monsoon or floods or swimming in moats. Pez has found one. A 2-year-old. A 2-year-old, Taz. Race 4, number 15, police officer, Clary Connors. Now, this is a second starter. You know, this is a part of my New Year's resolutions, Taz. I had to get off the second starters. That was an addiction. I just think Clary Connors, he's got a little sneaky. I love Clary back in the day. He's tipped a ton of golden slippers. He's had winners back in the day, talking about the Hawks team. Nash Wheeler sticks. I don't know. I reckon there's something just doesn't smell right. And I think from 11 to 1,200 this week, I reckon it's a little sneaky little future for me too. I'm going to get on now because I think with the rain, it might swim. And peace officer might calm us all down and give us a couple of chockies. But you never know.
Pezza, do you reckon that Nash is going to become the new RS Dye for Clary Connors? Eh? Could he do that? Do you remember those? They were a good partnership then.
One of my resolutions was stop back in Nash Wheeler too. I think this ticks both my boxes. So anyway, let's hope. Anyway, we get to the 5 times 16 equals 80. We got 1,250 bucks for the Yankee. Let's go. That's
very nice. Very nice dividends there.
That's the great man himself, Taz, into Steve, into Tone, into a big one in Clary Connors. Let's go.
Absolutely.
As I said before, this is the longest show in history. A very angry, passive-aggressive Japanese wife, which is nothing to be afraid of, because there's such a cruel race. That's a Bridget Jones joke, not mine. So. Steve, I just want to say thanks so much for coming in, mate. It's absolutely joy. Love you.
I appreciate you letting me come on and just have a little bit of a chin wag about what goes on and where the mind process goes. So absolutely appreciate it.
Love it, mate. Love it. And we'll try and get this onto YouTube, and hopefully we can, shock a few anyway. The great man, the myth, the legends come over and.
Can I throw a little sneaky out there as well?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
All right. Look, massive price.
Love a sneaky.
Form says no. It's Murray at Canberra in the Black Opal.
Oh, the Black Opal.
Oh no, produces good horses. So the number 13 called the 7 Seas.
Oh, Moses, like Moses Tone.
It's been ridden like a bad horse every start and hasn't drawn a gate. It's 12 and 14, draws 12 again tomorrow, but it's got ability, and around that, what is it, $17 market's worth of play.
Nice.
And then on Saturday at Otaki, and I'll put it up, race 1, horse caught in a maiden over 1,600, third time around.
Maiden 1,600, I love it.
Absolutely. It's got 56, gets 3 off its back. Last start it ran behind La Creek, beat Nate. And got held up, couldn't get a run until the last 200, and probably should have run second, and goes to a maiden at Otaki over 1,600. So
tonight on your slide, I'll make a little hashtag.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Love
Couple of throws out there.
Love it. All right. Taz, thoughts?
Yep, absolutely. Firstly, all I want to say is it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour, and also look forward to having Steve back again anytime, any day of the week. Not only has he, I guess, complimented our show, he's also made my day because he's a smart man. He's a Carlton supporter. So thanks for that. But all said and done, it's been an absolute treat. So thanks.
Absolutely, mate.
As always great to have yourself and Tone on board as well. So
good on you, Tone. Any thoughts, anything, Tone?
Yes, been an honour. Great to have you on the show, Razor, and learned a lot from you today, and a lot of great stories and information that you've put across there. And thanks, Taz. Thanks, Pez. Yep. And love to see you on the show again. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And
as a personal,
don't be a stranger.
Appreciate you for getting me on and having a chat and having a bit of fun. I love it.
Yeah, mate, you're a genius, mate. And hopefully we'll link a couple of things up and get across, because this guy is really good. And don't worry, I've put in 3 years of hard yakka. And it's just starting to pay off. Well, it has paid off. Don't worry about that.
You got to step sending those letters,
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Don't worry. The pop with the rabbits on the cat, like out in the veranda.
I know it's you.
I'm going to get on the range.
Being Richmond. All good.
Hey,
Dusty, if you see him.
International flights are back. He could be coming.
That's right. Mate, plenty of space. Don't worry. We've got plenty of
much appreciated.
Plenty of floor here for you, mate. Don't worry about that. We'll look after you. All right, guys, take it easy. Cheers.
All right, thanks. Thanks, James.
The Razor's Edge. There we go.